I know the ratings have gone down about 20% since your ability to keep things on a light side and keep people laughing, and your personality's missed.
Yeah, I kept them laughing, but at the same time I tried to make it serious, and I really thought about ultimately changing lives.
Here's Time magazine from July with a picture of marriage. I'm going to say North America. This is an article about marriage in America. I'm just going to read a little slice here, because this was your arena full time for all those years. From the Marriage Go Round, The State of Marriage and the Family in America Today, a book by Andrew J. Cherlin. He writes, American families, compared with those of other nations, combine frequent marriage and frequent divorce. The high number of short-term cohabiting relationships is like nowhere else in the world. Taken together, these forces create a great turbulence in American family life, a family flux, a coming and going of partners on a scale seen nowhere else. There are more partners in the personal lives of Americans than in the lives of people of any other Western country. Wow. Now, you're seeing the fallout, and some of these situations are bizarre.
I know that to be true. As I say, they're changing wives and husbands like you turn the water on and off a faucet. And I think America has gotten to the point where our moral values have just declined so much till we don't really understand that marriage is something that's ordained of God. And we're just going away as a country. We're just really going away from the Word of God. And we're going further and further away. The more God blesses us, the more we get away. It reminds me of the children of Israel. The more they were blessed, the more God did for them, the more they wanted to adopt the culture of the other persons who didn't believe in God. So that is exactly what's happening, and that's why I believed my ministry was to try to change that attitude and to get people to understand that marriage is what it should be. It's ordained of God, not in and out of relationships.
Your brand new book, Judge Mablean's Life Lessons, Tools for Weekly Living, it has just lots of nuggets. Here's one I liked, and this is applicable to everybody, not just people who are married. Actually, this is life lesson number 1. The grass always looks greener on the other side. Stay on your side. If things in your relationship start to fade, water your lawn and plant new seeds. Till your soil and fertilize your grass until it turns green again.
Yes, everybody wants everything to be peaches and cream all the time. And in a marriage, you have ups and downs. And when you're looking out the window, it always looks better when you look into someone else's relationship. But in order to make a marriage work, you have to understand you have to work on it. Just like you do that lawn to keep it green and to keep it beautiful, you have to work just as hard at a marriage. It's not just something that you walk into today and you walk out tomorrow, but it really takes work.
After putting up with all sometimes the ridiculous back and forth, were you ever able to encourage a couple not to divorce? Did you see any victories there?
Yes, I must say that I was able to do that in a number of cases. The cases were real. There was absolutely no script.
Because in the old days, there were actors. Alan Alda,
right. In the
Jack
60s,
Nicholson,
in the 60s and the 80s,
show.
It was actors and real judge actors, and then but the cases under Judge Mablean were all real litigants, and no script. And as I said, I saw it as ministry, and I believe that God has ordained me not only for the role of divorce court, but dealing with family law and family issues. Community property, family law, and law school, worst subject. My worst subject, hated it. Did not want to get into that area of the law, but I found myself in that, so I know that it was God. And I was able to detect when couples were just needed a little counseling, just needed someone to talk to them, to say to them, like one couple was divorcing because the husband wouldn't take his shoes off. The wife had white carpeting, and she wanted him to take his shoes off every time he came through the door. Oh, come on, this is his house too. And so just somebody talking to them in terms of this, that's unrealistic. And I was able to glean that from listening to the couples, and then I'd take them in the back and say, come on now. Let's get down to this for real. Do you really want a divorce? And you could see that they didn't. And a lot of them were able to reconcile, and with a little prodding and a little help.
Wonderful. I can see your heart,
yes.
Even as you share this. In just a few seconds, can you tell us what you're doing now, Mablean?
Well, I'm doing the book. I just finished the book, Life Lessons, Judge Mablean. I'm writing the second book, Look Deep Before You Leap. So as one of the life lessons is marriage is a commitment of the heart, not the wallet, not the physique. So I'm trying to teach people to look at the character and other things before marriage. I also am a motivational speaker. I speak around the country at women's groups, at church groups, college campuses, high school campuses. I'm doing some mentoring in one of the local elementary schools. I'm caring for my 98-year-old mother who's bedridden, and I'm so thankful for the privilege to be able to care for her and to give her the love and the nurturing that she gave to me. I have a foundation, and the Mablean Ephriam Foundation. We give scholarships to graduating high school seniors and to people who decided to go back to school at a later age. We also teaching fathers, men, to become fathers and to do what they're supposed to do. And I honor those men in our local community who are doing so with a big dinner on Father's Day each year. So I'm involved in a number of things, doing whatever I can to serve the poor, to serve the wretched, the widows, the orphans, to do what I believe is God's will for our life.
I'm so glad you came from California.
I am so glad to
visit
be here.
us. You know, I had opened to this verse, and it's even more meaningful now as I hear all that you're doing today. Jeremiah 9:24, God says, "But let him or her who boast about this, that she understands and knows me, that I am the Lord who exercises kindness, justice, and righteousness on earth. For in these I delight, declares the Lord." And you know how he exercises all these good things?
Through us.
Through us.
Through us.
Thank you for being our poster girl.
Thank you.
For this very verse and for
you.
all you're doing to make
Thank
a
you.
difference in our world. Judge Mablean.